What's going on, everybody? My name is Derek. Welcome to my channel. Today is August 13th, 2021. I wanted to do a video today and discuss my radio history, and at least a part of it. My radio history spans from 1995 to 2005, and it was a love-hate relationship, we'll say, and there was some coming and going. I didn't work all 10 years straight, so there's distinct periods of that 10 years where I worked in radio that all come with their own stories, which will all be videos at some point. But today I want to discuss my time as a radio station mascot. And the mascot's name was, I'll tell you in a minute. So some context. I started working in radio in 1995. I was a senior in high school, and I took a communications class. I'm going to breeze through this. I'll get more in detail on a different video at some point, but took a communications course. The teacher, Bud Johnston was his name. I had connections with a radio station group in Portland, Maine. I was going to school in Sanford, Maine. Portland, Maine is about 45 minutes north of where I grew up and went to school. It was a great opportunity. I went and interviewed for it, and it was a neat part-time job. It was producing behind the scenes, playing commercials for radio station, simple stuff. That was Monday through Friday, 3 to 7 p.m. So I was allowed to leave school at noon. They put me into the workers, I can't remember the name of it, but it's where the school allows you to leave early because you got to go to work. So that was my first job in radio. It lasted through the school year. I graduated in 96, and then I left radio for reasons I can't remember. But now let's move to the second phase, the mascot phase, as we'll call it. So for whatever reason, I feel like getting back into the game. I need work. My managers are still there. I left on great terms. So I knew it was going to be a fairly simple situation. Give them a phone call, throw it out there. What do you have? Do you have anything? And sure enough, my manager, Don Matson was his name. He's like, yeah, man, come on in. We definitely have something for you. Let's talk about it. All right, let's do it. So we set up a time. I go to his office. We sit down. We're catching up. 15 minutes in, I finally go, so what you got? What are we doing? He doesn't say a word. He just kind of like looks over my right shoulder, like signaling, like, look behind you. So I do. I look behind me, and there, ladies and gentlemen, is hanging a radio station mascot. I'm like, really? Like, that's the job? He's like, yep. It'll help you getting through the door. It pays $10 an hour. That's all I got for you. Wearing a mascot suit. So as we get further into this story, I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to pop a picture up on the screen. If you are only listening to this, or you're listening to this right now as you're doing other things, probably sewing or quilting, go to your device, and I'm going to be popping a picture up in here and introducing to you the legendary Oldies 100.9 WYNZ Mascot, Wooly Bully. I've worn that suit 25 times minimum. And it was a lot of fun. So Oldies 100.9 was the oldies station. I think you could figure that out by the name. And an office in a radio group called Portland Radio Group. And there was 4 stations in there, 2 FM and 2 AM. You had Oldies 100.9 FM, 93.1 WMGX FM, and then 2 AM stations, 970 WZAN and 560 WGAN. And when you work in a group like that, often you're working for all the radio stations. You're doing odd end type stuff. So quickly after joining the team again and being the mascot, I ended up working for some of the other radio stations and some of the more simpler stuff. That's just how it works. And make note of the baseball, because that is definitely something that is going to come up here in a minute. But what I want to explain to you how the mascot suit works. That might be interesting to you. You've never been in one. You've seen a mascot, but like, how does it work? Well, I am looking through the mouth. Now, also, let me mention this. I don't know if this is me. I found this on Google. I don't know when this was taken. It was the one picture I could find. I couldn't believe that I actually was able to find this on Google, because I wanted to give you all a visual on what the woolly bully looks like. So I don't know when this was taken, but whoever is in there is looking through the mouth. It's like a mesh screen that you can see through, but it's not easy. You have zero peripheral. Like, you can't see side to side. You are very limited on what you can see. And it's hard for anyone to see inside of you. They have to like really get up in the mouth to see who's in there. And then in the eyeballs, behind the eyeballs, is a fan, a little fan spinning on the top. And it's actually blowing up. And there's a hole in the top of the woolly bully head above the cross eyes. So that fan is supposed to kind of vent, blow out the hot air. It doesn't work. Doesn't help at all. Also, what they give you is, it's almost like an ice vest. But picture a vest, but without things going over your shoulder, without half sleeves. It's just this big strap that wraps around your midriff, and it velcros together. And there's pouches all around it, and each pouch gets an ice pack in it. And it works. It feels great. It's nice and cool. Actually makes your back feel good. And it makes being in that suit bearable for about an hour. That's all you're going to get out of it. And then it's Sweat City again. And the reason why a radio station has a mascot is because what they do in radio is have what's called remotes. And that is when, typically on a Saturday, you've probably seen this at a car dealership, where your favorite radio station is at the dealership on a Saturday, and your favorite morning hosts are there doing live broadcasting from the location, contests, giveaways. And it's a way for the company to hire the radio station to be there as a way to promote the business. But it's also promoting and marketing the radio station, because meet and greets, you can go meet your DJ friend, like your favorite DJ. You can get free stickers. You can win prizes. There's a lot of fun, and every radio station does it. But in the year that I was absent from this radio group, they decided to get a mascot for the Oldies station. This thing did not exist when I worked there prior. So, but that's why they did a mascot. So for events, man, like, what a great way to advertise your radio station than to have a mascot. Everyone loves mascots, especially this guy. This is a good looking dude right here. Very, very handsome bully. Very nice one too. Like, he looks like a bull, but he's not a bully at all. He was a very, very nice mascot. And it was a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun with it. Now, let's get specific to this picture. I don't know who's in that mascot right now, but I know exactly where that is, and I know why the mascot's holding that baseball, because this is something I did. So this is at a baseball field called, I don't even know the name of the field, but the team is Portland Sea Dogs. Now, the Portland Sea Dogs are what's called a AA baseball team. For those that don't know about sports a whole lot, the way baseball works is you have the major league team, we'll say the Red Sox, Boston Red Sox. And then there's the farm system. And that is for the baseball players that are either on the younger side, fresh out of college, or maybe just not quite good enough to be in the major leagues at the moment. So they play in these what's called developmental teams to so they can gain more strength and experience and just get better and age into it. And there's 3 levels of the farm system. There's AAA, AA, single A. The Portland Sea Dogs is a AA team. So it's just one more layer. You got a lot of younger guys, very inexperienced, new to the game, probably just graduated college, but are hungry and they play great, and it's great baseball to watch. They're super talented, but just not there enough to be in the big leagues. Um, and good fun. So the Portland Sea Dogs is associated with the Boston Red Sox. So if you're familiar with what Fenway Park looks like, this park has a replica of the Green Monster. They modeled the outfield to be like Fenway Park, which is good fun, which is really nice. In hopes that some of these players work their way up and eventually play for the Red Sox. So, so twice this station has done an event at this game back in 97, 98, whenever that was. I can't remember, but the first one was throwing up the first pitch. I, in that mascot suit, got to throw out the first pitch, and it was terrifying because I didn't want the hand glove to fall, like just fly off my hand as I threw the ball. Plus, I can't see anything. So I just give it my best throw. Maybe makes 3 feet in front of me, hits the ground, and just tumbles its way to the home plate. But everyone's laughing. Crowd's having a good time. I'm not embarrassed because I'm in a mascot suit. No one can see me. No one can come get me. So for an introverted person like myself, being a mascot's actually really fun because you can be outgoing and goofy. No one knows you. So that was fun. And then the second thing we did was we had a mascot kickball game in between innings, one game. And there was other companies in the area that had their own mascots. I can't even remember the names of some of these mascots, but sure enough, there was probably 8 of us in different mascot suits. And we would just went out in the ball field and got your standard red kickball. You all know what that looks like. The smell of the kickball, the feel of it, how it bounces, what it sounds like when it bounces. Everyone knows that standard red kickball. And sure enough, everyone had their turn to kick the kick the ball and then run to first base and run to second. And I think I made it to second base, but I had to run in that thing, and it's hot and you don't want your boots to fly off. And it was just good fun. It was really fun. And it's very entertaining for the crowd. And again, not embarrassing because no one can see me. And it's really funny too, when you have an event like that and then you go in the back in the dressing area and you see 8 people with mascots suits on without the head. Just take the head off and then you stay in the rest of the suit talking. It's just funny. It's just a neat little world to be in. But it was a good experience. It got me back into radio. Quickly thereafter, I started doing other things and eventually didn't have to do the Woolly Bully anymore. Look, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. Anyone that lives in Portland, Maine, probably knows of the Woolly Bully, but most definitely the radio station. I think it's changed now. I think it's Y101 or something like that. But so this is a fun moment for me in radio. There are also some stories that are going to be coming down the pipe that were not so fun in radio. But this was definitely a fun moment. So, well, cool. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you soon.